Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Nunez.
Yes, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me. I'm back home. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving weekend. The markets continue to rally. Bitcoin 10,000, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin 10,000. This is absolutely insane, man. I mean, this is, we haven't, I admittedly, we haven't been following Bitcoin like we should. Shout out to the great people of EquityFeed, equityfeed.com, best scanner on the market. Get 2 weeks free, no credit card required at equityfeed.com. Chris McKinney, Jeff Thayer, Lawrence Kane, Sleepy, Mr. JRH, George M. What's good? Yeah, Bitcoin making it happen, man. Bitcoin outperforming the markets. Look, nothing's come close to what Bitcoin has done over the last year. Nothing comes close. Nothing's come close. The markets are up. NASDAQ anyway, 30% since the election of Donald Trump. Bitcoin well over 100%. I want to say 100%, right? I know it's at least 100. From this time last year, I do believe it's at least 100. Somebody go ahead and correct me on that if I'm wrong. I got a piece of Bitcoin, not as much as I have in equities, but I don't know. I feel like I can't go all in. Look, if it's going to go to 100,000, right? No matter what you have, it's going to increase in value. So I'm in it for the long term. I don't plan on selling my positions. Just keep it there and let it just do what it's going to do. I understand that there are only 29 million, if I'm correct, 29 million that will ever exist of Bitcoin. So I just want to make sure that I have my piece. By the time I'm 50 years old, there's expected to be at least 9 billion people on this planet. If we're going to talk about 29 million Bitcoin, I want to have at least a piece. At least a piece. And while so many people, like myself, are wondering whether or not if Bitcoin is legit, how about you just, put some money out there on it and figure it out as it develops? You don't have to buy the whole 10,000 one coin. If you can, by all means, buy it if you can afford it. But if you can't, buy what you can afford. If it's $10, $100, $1,000, buy something and then sit on it. Over $75 billion worth of wealth was created in Bitcoin since March of this year. George M., you're saying 900%? Marcus Music 1,000% over the last year? Crazy, man. Those of you guys looking for me on Twitter, unfortunately, my Twitter got suspended. I'm suspended for 6 days and 15 hours. So I'm still in Twitter jail right now. Before I got suspended, I had mentioned a couple days earlier about how I was going to do kind of what Andrew Left was doing with his Citron research. So I started my own little research website / firm, incorporated and everything. Advanced Equity Research. So you go to advancedequityresearch.com. I already got a few profiles up. Go ahead and bookmark that. So it's really cool because I get to, get back into OTC stocks the way I really want to. We'll go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the equities right now. Let me know what you guys are looking at right now. Seems like the Bitcoin excitement on the equity side has slowed up a little bit. We were really excited last week with tickers like Riot. I mentioned that 1835. That 1835 was where I thought it was a great short. And sure enough, now we're at 1525 on Riot. And for all intents and purposes, we're going lower. We're going a lot lower. This is a company that has, as of right now, no real Bitcoin assets to speak of. So unless there's a massive dip buy, this could go all the way back to 7 because this company really has no actual cryptocurrency assets. Last I checked. 845 of my first caller. You're on the air. What's up?
It's Ken from New York. How's it going?
Ken, how are you, man? It's been a while. You're back on the air. What's up?
I wanted to mention to you, it's your friends at Citron Research, your favorite stock, Roku.
Where was that guy 2.5 weeks ago? I mean, that's when I needed Andrew left. It was 2.5 weeks ago.
I know.
And I sent him a tweet. I said, look, man, you're slipping on your game because you would have been all over this 3 years ago. And now, I left it. I took a $570 loss, something like that, $577. And I let it go. And, Roku ends up squeezing shorts, going higher yesterday.
Because there's an upgrade.
Yeah, and it actually went higher today. Got an upgrade, right? Some clown came out and said it was worth what? I think he said it was worth like 60 or something. I don't know. Just something ridiculous like that. And obviously, the longs took it and ran with it as an opportunity to short. I mean, to squeeze some of these shorts that were in there. I don't know how anybody was able to grab shares of this thing. But anyway, it went higher. Everybody's playing Roku on the option side of it. But now Andrew left, came out today, said, hey, Roku's a joke at these levels. He even clowned on the $28 price. So he doesn't even think it's worth $28. So right now, Roku down heavy after hours. I don't know, where they'll end up opening up at or whether or not this will sell off. A lot of people, I mentioned that this should been in the low 20s by now, but it's held on, very, very well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I wanted to mention to you the bank stocks today. Bank of America, for example, BAC. Just because the Fed chairman, under testimony today, said he wants a lot less regulation, they all bounced off the 50-day moving average. And look at the volume. I mean, today is the first update, the first green candle on BAC, GS, Citibank, JPM. Do you think we'll follow through tomorrow? I think we will.
Yeah, you might see a little pullback in the morning, but at the end of the day, you got to buy this news, right? You got to buy this new Fed chair. You got to buy the idea that this tax plan is now going to the floor of the Senate, and has a likelihood of being lost soon. So I'm not a seller here. I think if you're long something that's up huge this year, I think you stay long. And right now, there's really no reason to sell on any of this news. You've got a lot of news that's keeping the markets higher right now. So I wouldn't try to short or sell any of the news that's out here right now.
Good. And I also so I got into the BAC calls. I got into the IWM. The IWM.
IWM that's a home run right now. I mean, I'm already seeing action on the 154 IWMs. I mean, it's just one of those things where you got to go out and grab IWM because this tax plan is all about IWM. I mean, in terms of like who's going to be the biggest beneficiary, you've got to talk about those mid-cap companies between $50 million market cap to about $400 million. That's a huge thing for them. So it'll be a big winner for IWM and everything involved in that.
Yeah, exciting times. Really exciting. I mean, there's so many areas to make money now. In the OTC, the Bitcoin stocks, I'm just letting them rest. I made my money on the RIOT and MARK. I made money on, but I'm letting them rest a couple days, then I get back in.
Yeah. The Bitcoin stocks are taking a breather. Look, they made some huge moves last week, so they're pulling back a little bit. A lot of people up huge on a lot of these Bitcoin plays. I'm not surprised. There's some I called out as a scam today, pre-LF being one of them. So they're more legit plays than they are, But MGTI, I had a lot of hope for MGTI, but I thought it was going to be moving a little higher. We did hit threes. We actually did hit the 320s, and it just couldn't commit yesterday. So what ended up happening, and I have no doubt we'll finally find these in some of these 4 and 4s that should come out over the week, that management and, God knows who else is in this play, came and activated all their warrants and probably dumped all their shares on the open market. That's no doubt in my mind what probably is happening in MGTI, but time will tell with that.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. It's interesting. One more. Remember the USRM, that scam, that stupid stem cell? That was even up 25% today. They had some kind of news this morning on their treatments. Even that piece of crap.
Yeah, USRM. I've completely forgot about USRM. It's up, man. It's doing what it's doing. Again, if you caught it, congrats to you. I mean, it's been an incredible move. You're up over 120% since the 22nd. So, I mean, look, money is money, and we know you can make money on scams too. So, enjoy it while it's up there. I think you're hot now. I think if anything, you probably pull back here. But I mean, I agree.
Because I was going to say, Sal, like ATPT, those sub-penny ones. I mean, that's down the toilet now. You really got to take your money. You got to take the money. A day or two, they make their runs, and you get out.
Absolutely.
Money is flowing into the bigger markets. Anyway, that's what I think. One more thing. Do you think money's going to flow into like the steel sector, the U.S. Steel X or CLF, the materials?
I would go into those. See, man, infrastructure. It was a lot of talk at the beginning of the year of infrastructure, right? We were looking at X and some of these other steel plays and some of these other. Right. I mean, when you look at steel and many of these other steel and infrastructure plays, besides Caterpillar and the huge exporters, you pretty much missed the boat. They've missed the boat,
right?
And
I
don't see it just yet. I think when the tax plan follows through, I think that's leverage that Donald Trump can use to possibly talk about an infrastructure bill. But here's the thing: where's the money going to come for that? Now we got a tax bill, so. I don't know. I don't know, but I think right now, stick to technology, stick to what's running. I'll just leave infrastructure to be by the wayside right now.
And one more. The Netflix today. I got into a few. That looks interesting. Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is going to continue to go higher. It's if you read the last earnings report, Netflix is pure international play at this point. They said it themselves. They pretty much maxed out their potential here in America. That's why they're going huge international. And you got to understand, even websites like YouTube, if you're outside of the country, their pages you can't see. So videos you can't watch and whatnot. So Netflix offers the ability for somebody in a country that otherwise wouldn't see some movies have access to those movies. And that's their only option to see them. So Netflix is a huge, I would say, international exposure type play. I think you got to be bullish with it because overall, internationally, the markets are going higher. I think you got to be long Netflix. Why not 250 Netflix if this
why not?
market
Exactly.
continues?
And one more, just back to Bitcoin. Remember, a week from this Monday, December 11th, CME. You might want, if anyone plays options out there, a few calls on CME. CME was up nicely today because they're going to make money whether Bitcoin goes up or down because they're going to be trading futures on that starting in just a week or so. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And here's the thing: there's a lot of talk about CME. They might not be able to give you the put side of that because who's going to want to take the put side to that trade? You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
So I don't know how they're going to play that. I know it's really hard to short Bitcoin because nobody wants to be on that side of the trade. because everybody has so much doubts, even though it's been around for 7 years. So there's still significant doubt even at these price levels. So we'll see. But CME, yes, absolutely, they're going to kill it on that side. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you should have in your portfolio, period. $45 billion market cap, excuse me. It's going to be around for a long period of time. CME is going to one of those things you just kind of ride to the end.
And the Chinese government tried to squash Bitcoin a month and a half ago. Remember that? It came down a bit. If the Chinese government can't stop it, it's not going to be stopped.
It's an international play. It's an international play. You know, and I mentioned this on Twitter. You know, again, when you live in a third world country, you live in a developing country, you live in a country that's controlled by a dictator, you live in a country that's controlled by a communism or whatever it is. If you are wealthy or you just want to maintain whatever it is you have, you put your money in Bitcoin. That is really the only option you have. In some of these countries like Iran, North Korea, wherever it is, you don't have access to the international markets, but you do have access to a non-controlled asset called Bitcoin, and that's going to be why Bitcoin continues to go higher. I'm a believer now. I think you play it long, so it'll continue to go higher.
All right, I'm going to go. I'll let some other people
Appreciate
call
it, Ken.
Thanks,
man.
Good time. Take care.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ken for the call. Bad Scientist, what's up? Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Yeah, my Twitter, I'm in Twitter jail right now, Bats. I'm in Twitter jail for like 6.5 more days. So I called somebody a nut tugger or something like that. And, you know, it is what it is, man. So I'm in Twitter jail right now. 316, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, so I heard you talking about Bitcoin, and I was talking with my dad earlier, like a few months ago, and we were talking about shorting Bitcoin because of like all the fraud and stuff, and I was wondering what your take on that might be.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, think about if somebody had shorted Bitcoin right now. You've been crushed. You know what I mean? You would have been crushed. So
I know right now we would have been crushed, but like in the future, I know there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on with Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on with fiat currency. I mean, so I don't know, bro. I can't predict the future, man. I mean, you know, we just had a multinational or a national bank, Wells Fargo, literally create 25,000 fake accounts, in order to embezzle money from people. So. Who's to say that someday in the future you may have one of these multinational banks come into Bitcoin? Because I think that's what it is. A lot of them are going to start coming into it, and they're going to start trying to manipulate it and fuck it up, because that's exactly what they do. Right. So my fear is once it starts to become mainstream and you have some of these banks that we know and do business with, like the Bank of America's, the Wells Fargo's, the Merrill Lynch's, and whoever else is out there, once they start getting to Bitcoin, that's my fear. That's when they start getting a piece of it, and you're starting to see some of these wacky things that can happen. I have no doubt in my mind all of these financial institutions controlled by some really evil-ass people who would love to see Bitcoin go all the way back down to 400 so they can grab more of it and start to have a say in the way it's worked. So that's my fear of it.
Yeah, well, I think like the fraudulent stuff is what's holding the banks back now. So I think once that gets cleared, then the banks will start getting into it. So that's probably the main reason why they're not jumping on it right now.
We'll see. All
right. Well, thanks for answering my call.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
All right. Yep. See you.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. My only take, that I don't agree with him on that is the fact that they're not in it now because they can't control it now. They're trying to figure out how to fucking control it. That's what they can't figure out how to get in there and kind of take this by the reins. The federal government can't figure it out. No, they can't. That's the thing. What's going on, Jeff Thayer, Master 82, Federalist? Let's get to your tickers. Yes, it is Advanced Equity Research, Antonio King. That's the new page where I'm putting out some reports and kind of getting back to my writing and stuff like that. And on the sell side, of course, you guys know it's all on the sell side. So if you love to short penny stocks, definitely take a look at my new website. All right. And then my new Pumps and Dumps podcast. That'll be up this weekend. And that's going to be really cool and fun because I'm going to be able to really speak to a lot of the promoters that I've known and worked with over the years. And, you know, I think they like that idea where they're not coming on live and whatever. They're just weird like that. So this will be a podcast thing. They'll use fake names, but we'll be able to go really deep into the stories on, you know, pumps and dumps, you know, from the 2000s to ones going on now. I really want to bring some of these promoters to talk about, like, what was going through your mind? What do you think about it? What was that return expected? How did that follow through? You know, those are just kind of interesting stories that I think some people would be interested in hearing. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. All right. So let's go and take a look at APFQF. Cannabis play, right? I think this is a cannabis play, right? It's OTC stock. Decent volume. I hate the fact that it's trading at 89 times earnings, but look, a run is a run. A strong pullback today of 5%. You're at 894 right now, so not the cheapest thing in the world, but strong volume, very strong volume. And we'll see what it's doing. But, yeah, it looks like it is a pharmaceutical play, but I think it's cannabis related. Yeah, it is cannabis related. All right, do your research on it. What's going on, Woody Wright? Jason, you played Riot in at 18, out at 23. Here's the thing about Riot. I want to hear from a guy who was in at 8 or a guy who was in at 6. That's the thing that you know, I feel like I missed the boat when we talk about Riot. BAA Banro Gold, the Congolese gold play. I'm not a fan of it because the float is ridiculous, but I think the reverse split shortened that up. 703, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, what's up? It's me, Master.
Hey, what's going on with you, man? It's been a minute.
Oh, my God. I've been in heaven because of BTSC.
BTSC. Okay, the Bitcoin. Yeah. I mean, what do you like about it? I mean, where were you in, and are you still hanging on, or did you sell today on that sell-off?
Oh, hell no. I bought it at 06, and I'm still having it. Okay.
Oh, so the sell-off today didn't bother you. You're still in.
It set off maybe like 2 cents because it's been rising since because of Bitcoin, the news.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. So are you in? Hold on. BTSC.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. You're in that one. Okay. All right. BTSC. I pulled up BTCS. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Let me give you the ka-ching for this one, man. This is a monster play. I got to give it up to you, man. I mean, what? I mean, damn. Shit.
No. There's a reason why. You know why?
You know, let us know. I mean, why is it continuing to go higher like this?
Because of Bitcoin. It's following the movement of Bitcoin.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. I'm thought maybe there was some other underlying business. Now, are they a miner? No. Are they a miner? What exactly is their business? Like, what are they doing?
They help people with the payments. We're helping people make the payment easier for different companies or different individuals. And because of the Bitcoin news and people, because it's so cheap, they start buying them. It's like the same thing with SING things.
Okay.
Right. Almost every Bitcoin penny stock right now is climbing because of that thing's going up.
Yeah, I mean, but this one has got this is probably the prettiest Bitcoin chart besides pulling up Bitcoin itself that I can find right now. I mean, there's no, you know, when I just pulled up BTSC or that Mike Tyson Bitcoin stock or any other Riot, there's no, this is by far, this play that you're in right now is by far the best one chart that I can pull up right now when we talk about.
Yeah, you go to a weekly chart and it just went up. Like every day, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. So okay. So what's your exit strategy here? I mean, you're at 95 on the RSI on the daily chart. I mean, so you're super hot here. What's your exit here?
My exit is when maybe when Bitcoin crashes, or if it ever crashes, because it's following it. It's literally following Bitcoin.
There it is, man. Okay, cool. Man. I mean, you're up huge. I mean, obviously, I mean, your profits have to be immense. You're in at 6 cents. You're at 45 cents right now. That's literally over 800%. I mean, that's insane, man. That's absolutely insane.
I bought it for 600. Now I'm at 3,500.
Yeah, there it is.
And one more thing, it's been steadily going up. Is the gold one, AUY.
Okay, yeah, AUY. Okay, AUY, the Yamana Gold. Here's the thing, though, man. I mean, do you still want a long gold with Bitcoin doing itself? I read an interesting article, if I can find it, that talked about how, Bitcoin is the gold of the future. And you can literally talk about selling gold, not now, but maybe as the millennials or the X generation gets older, if Bitcoin is still around, you can be talking about a situation where besides industrial uses, gold basically goes to zero. I mean, what do you think about that?
I believe it, because this generation, the generation believe that can't stand government no more, and that's why Bitcoin became so popular, because they can't stand the control of how these people are manipulating the money.
Yeah.
In Bitcoin, you cannot manipulate by one person. It has to be peers.
All right.
Hey, cool. Did you hear the other story?
What story?
American Express and Ripple.
Yeah. Okay. So I heard a little bit about that. So American Express and Ripple. All right. Go ahead and fill the holes in for me, because what I know is just that I guess they want to use it as a way to process payments or something like that.
Yeah, and that mother is already at 24 cents per coin. I'm thinking about buying like maybe 100 coins just in case.
Yeah. Now, why do they like Ripple? What is it about Ripple that they like?
I'm still researching it. It's like information. I'm trying to find there's like a lot of words. I'm trying to find only the keywords. Mm-hmm. And there's like Reddit on all the different people. I'm checking if this is a scam or this is real. I'm going with American Express, Ripple, everything. Because
Ripple doesn't have a cap, right? I think Ripple doesn't have it's not like Bitcoin.
No, it got a cap.
It does.
Because once Bitcoin is done, everybody's done.
Okay.
But they say Bitcoin will not be done until like 2140.
Yeah.
Because it's at 16,700,000.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what makes it. Yeah, that's what makes it special. I mean, and I think it's going to be around until then. So that's what
because
makes
it's like gold. You can't make more, because once that number stops, it's mass. It's like not forever.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for the call, Master.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. That's Master 82. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Master 82 for the call. All right. So let's get back to these equities, guys. Let's get back to these equities. And Jeff, you said you're at Arby's. You're buying Buffalo Wild. Oh, Arby's is buying. But okay, I thought you were at Arby's. Arby's is buying Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense for them. Similar business. And P Bank, you got to tell me what you like about that BAA. Not sure what you like about the gold plays right now. What's going on, Poker Pro? And Poker Pro, I pulled up your SPI yesterday, man, and I was thinking about you. SPI not looking too good right now. I didn't know if you were still in it or not, but I mean that reverse split not doing it so much of any good. Now looking to barely, hold that $1 level. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. One of our old oil plays, I remember some of you guys bringing up ORIG. If you guys remember ORIG came out of bankruptcy a couple days ago. Now trading at $23 a share, already losing its ass. The option side hasn't updated yet, but for you shorters, you got to be all over ORIG. At the end of the day, they came out of bankruptcy, but they still have the internal flaws that will just not allow this company to grow. So now at $23, don't be surprised if in a month or two you're looking at a stock that's at $10 again. and probably even lower. But ORIG going lower on that reverse split coming out of bankruptcy. Otis Johnson on CVO. Here's the thing on CVO, man. I don't know where that came from, because we know how so many of us were very upset on CVO, where you had the day that they announced the $60 million contract from the federal government, Census Bureau. The stock opened up higher, ran higher, but ended up closing at a loss. Closing at a loss. It was one of the few days that I've ever seen where a stock literally opens up, runs to about a 33% gain, and then loses all of it. And now all of a sudden, with today's move, the stock moved up 81%. 81%. It's got a $6 million market cap, small company, but obviously it's more or less because the stock is so beat up, right? The stock is just so beat up. This was one time a company that had a $60 million market cap. So it's lost quite a bit of value, but I don't know what to think about today's move on CVO. I don't know what to think about it, because I don't know where it comes from. When I look at the minute chart today, what do you say to this? It kind of came in, for the most part, it wasn't doing anything. And all of a sudden you had somebody go in there and acquire and then put the word out, and all of a sudden everybody showed up. So something went out. I don't know if it was a chat room or what. I don't know. But something went out there, and whoever it is, they made bank, right? Whoever it is, they made bank. And, I think if you're not careful tomorrow, if you're in long at these 140s, 150s, you may be ended up, bag holding here. Who's going to buy from you tomorrow at 146? Let's be honest. Max Trader, you said you made your money. That's what's up. Yeah, I remember. CVO's been a winner though. Shout out to the guys who are still in CVO. Because I know there were some guys who were still in the stock, and or maybe this is a delayed reaction to that $60 million contract. So do we see another day in this? I don't know. I think it's fucked up that it just decided to run now, though. SPG, Simon Property Group. Best 2018 shorts of these mall operators. Absolutely. I like that. I like that play, Free Rider, talking about shorting some of these mall operators. Yeah, absolutely. Any of these real estate investment trusts that are publicly traded, that have extensive portfolio exposure to, class AA, AAA retail, these malls and small malls in these communities. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If they have options available, you got to be all over the put side on them, because they're going to lose value. They're going to lose value. All right, they're going to lose value. I'm back purely into equities, but I still have some option positions. Of course, the puts and the VIX that are months out, and then I have Foot Locker, which I don't know what that happened to that today. Foot Locker, just is going to give in eventually. It's going to give in eventually and fall to that 38. I'm looking to sell at that 36, but just being a pain in the ass. And it's got a $100 million float too, 100 million share float. Just shouldn't be doing this, but we had the tax bling today and a bunch of, so I give it that. But that's a great short. Foot Locker. And I got the December 15th. If we break below that first green line at 38.40, if we do that, then I'm going to roll it into 2018 all the way back to the low 30s, to 32 or maybe even a 30. Because at the end of the day, yeah, retail sucks. Retail sucks, and retail is going to continue to suck going into 2018. Nothing's changed. We had our biggest Black Friday, $9 billion in sales this past Friday. $9 billion in online sales. This was the first Black Friday where online sales eclipsed, right? Eclipsed people going into the stores. There was a popular Facebook video where, you know, these Best Buy employees, they're waiting for people to run through the store. Like, did you guys see this? And they open the door and it's like one guy who's walking in. He's like the only guy. It's hilarious. You got to see that shit. Have I ever heard of a company called Magic Leap? No, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Yeah. SPG has huge exposure to Macy's, JCPenney, and Sears. Then that's a good play, Free Ride. That's an absolutely good play. Let's take a look at some of the other plays. Mara. I don't know what happened to Mara. Mara, you know, again, but, you know, when you have stocks that don't trade, you know, that just do weird ass shit, man. What goes up is going to have to come down, man. These stocks eventually will correct themselves. And that's what you have here in Mara, man. And, you know, I don't feel sorry for anybody who was in that stock in the 850s, and that's exactly how I don't feel anybody who's long Roku right now and Andrew Left came out and shitted on you. You know, I have no doubt in my mind you got some people, you know, who are crying right now. You know, let me flush the toilet on there. You know, say goodbye to those dollars. You know, but that Mara that's ugly. That shit is ugly, man. You know, that shit is ugly. I gotta, you know, drop a bomb on that one. That's really ugly.
Oh, shit.
Said fundamentals should be kept in the back of your mind, but price action is the most important. Absolutely. I agree with you. But at the same time, Yusuf, we have companies out there that are not following any fundamentals right now. You know, I started the show when I talked about a Bitcoin stock called Pre-LF. Pre-LF, OTC stock. This stock is trading at 375 times earnings. 375 times earnings. So if you're talking about fundamentals, it's ridiculous. $890 million market cap. I wrote up on it on my website, advancedequityresearch.com. I think the company lost $200K last year or something like that, last quarter. So, you know, has literally just $1 million in cash, if that. You don't have to, you know, read my report. But has a market cap of $896 million as of right now. You know, so absolutely, I'm with you 100% on that. ZNGA. Now, ZNGA is an interesting little penny stock. For those of you guys who don't know ZNGA is an app maker. They make little apps. This is a company that had great fanfare when it first came out. Because if I'm correct, they're the ones that made that little farm game, right? A couple years ago on Facebook that was pissing everybody off back in the day. Yeah, I believe it was them. I'm on a weekly chart now. But there was like this little farm game where people had their little farms. And, you know, everybody was just getting pissed off because, you know, it would just hit you up like crazy, like one of your friends was in the farm and wants you to come and join them and all that crap. But they just were never really able to live up to the hype. Earnings never really blew anyone out the water. But so far, these last couple of weeks, it looks like things have been doing better since the beginning of 2017. You're up 100% for the year in ZNGA if you were patient enough. Most of those gains looks like coming from March. I don't know what the recent earnings report looks like. You're going to have to do that. Up 2.6% today on ZNGA. Farmville, yeah, thank you. Farmville, yeah, that was it. Farmville. INPX IT Services. I don't know, man. I mean, when you ask me what my opinion is, and I don't even have to know a lot about the stock. I just have to look at the chart, and just by the look at this primary trend over the last year and a half, man, it doesn't look like things are going very well with the company. Even if we zoom here on where the volume is really kind of picked up, I don't even like the price action of this chart here since, what is that, mid-September or so? So, technology is really what's gotten us to these levels on the overall market, and this company has obviously missed the boat. So there's something really wrong with this business, and I think you would do yourself a huge favor and read the financials to figure out what exactly this is. Why is this company, not able to, create value for investors here? All I see is that it's described as an IT services company. They may be struggling with debt, no PE, so they're obviously losing money. Decent sized company, got over 120 employees. So something's going on here, but obviously, it's not working. It's not working. And where they're trading at right now, there's serious bankruptcy risk. There's serious bankruptcy risk. Poker Pro, you said Magic Leak will destroy Apple. That's a very, very strong statement, my man. That's a very strong statement. That company will destroy Apple. Startup company that's working on head-mounted virtual retina display, which superimposes 3D generated imagery over real-world aspects. Or real-world objects. Okay, so you're talking about that. It's not VR, but it's kind of like that Pokemon Go bullshit. It's like Pokemon Go. RAD, Rite Aid, up 15%. Here's the thing about Rite Aid, because Amazon is out to buy somebody here soon. They're gonna do something. I don't think they're gonna come after Rite Aid. Just too many employees, too many locations. I'm not buying that. The whole Walgreens Rite Aid merger thing is still out there. I don't know. At this point, either they're gonna do it or they're not gonna do it. But they need to do it to survive. They need to do it to survive, and it's got to happen sooner or later, or they're just going to end up, somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to lose. Amazon wants the drug game. Yeah, Amazon does want the drug game. They do want the drug game. Who's that company, Albertsons? I was listening to on CNBC. Isn't that the one they want, Albertsons? I think that's the one they want. I don't know what the ticker is for Albertsons, though. Albertsons. I mean, they already have a supermarket, though, don't they? Yeah, they just bought the... Or is that privately traded? Somebody wants to buy Albertsons. Albertsons IPO plans reportedly stalled after Amazon Whole Foods deal. Okay, so they were going to go public, but after the Amazon Whole Foods deal, they stopped. Here's an interesting article. I'll put that in the chat room. One of you guys might want to take a look at it. I'll put that in the chat room. This is an interesting play on that Albertsons IPO. They're trying. They're trying. I mean, look, at the end of the day, now with Whole Foods, you've got a situation where now people's groceries are going to be delivered sooner or later. That's gonna happen. The way we have bought groceries over the last 50 years has not changed, folks. You still go around picking up random shit, that you need around the house, and you pull up in this cart and you sit behind somebody and you wait until it's your turn. I mean, that's been the same. We've been doing the same thing for almost 50, 60 years. Somebody's got to change the way we do groceries. And why not it be Amazon? And for all you men and women who are going to be put out of business or put on the unemployment line thanks to AI, you're going to be able to take a job where you get into your car and you deliver groceries to people. And you deliver groceries to people. And it's not going to be everybody. It's just going to be the people who, what the hell is this? Who, find themselves unemployed. DCIX down 20%. That's the shipping. That's shipping for you. That's shipping for you. That's what it is. That's shipping for you. Let me see what Dries is doing. I don't know what the hell is this? DADQ American Depository Shares. The fuck is that? On my damn. Hold on, man. God. Okay, there it is. Hold on, let me. I hate when they do that kind of shit. They need to just get rid of that, whatever that was. I don't know. All right, Dries. So Dries, as I showed you guys last week, that when we put up this little trend line here, that if it maintained that trend line, it could go higher. It broke the trend, and this is where we are in Dries. As long as it continues to go sideways, it's gonna go lower. It's trying to find some support here. It really is. It really is trying to find some support and maybe even create a new trend line here. But, so far I'm looking at sideways and then down on Dries. Very much should follow DCIX. So, if you're looking to short this sucker, as long as no news comes out or anything, I think you're sitting pretty on Dries going lower. But it's trying, man. It's really fighting it. And by the way, this stock is reverse split a couple times now, so the float is really low. So it's not going to behave like it used to when it was 50, 60 million shares floating out there. So be careful on that. Yeah, it's fighting it. VERI, but yeah, that float is a lot tighter now, so it's just not going to collapse like it used to. Veritron, cloud computing, 23% gain today, as you can see there on that daily chart with today's action. Primary trend doesn't lend for us to want to really go long here. This kind of just looks like, a day where the bears were just in control, unless there was some kind of news. Was there some kind of news here? Looks like there was. Veritone first to be recognized for machine learning expertise. All right, so it's an AI play. Veritone, the leading provider of cloud-based artificial intelligence analytics. All right, so they announced a public offering today of 975,000 shares. Oh, no, okay, this was back on the 21st. Of nearly 1 million shares at $23 a share. Bats, is Bats still in here? Bats, you're really onto something when you talk about that whole, public offering thing. He said Citron killed Very. When did they kill Very? Probably at the top, right? They probably did that shit too. Shout out to Andrew Leff. Even though I think he's slipping. Because, after you've made $200 million, I don't care who you are. You can't tell me you are as hungry as you were when, you only had a couple $100 to rub together. I don't think he's as hungry, because I think he's been slipping on a lot of things, but You know, he's not the get rich or die trying Andrew Left. He's more like the, what is it? I don't know, before I self-destruct Andrew Left, you know. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Let's keep looking and see what other plays are out here that you guys are going to like. MGTI. Yeah, we talked about MGTI. MGTI is not going to go higher because I talked about it on a video I made about MGTI. I thought about 3s, even 4s. But, you know, look, all of those shares that they've given out earlier in the year for 40 cents, 50 cents on the dollar, you know, they're coming into the market now, man. They're just coming into the market now. So, you know, whatever buying that's trying to happen, what you have are people who have 4, 5, 6 million shares that they bought for 30 cents on some of these offerings and warrants they got earlier in the year when MGTI was starving for cash. They're just dumping it on you, man. They're just dumping it on you. And I have no doubt in the next couple of days we're going to see those Form 4s come out, and that's what we're going to see on MGTI. That's why it's not going to go higher. It's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit, and I would just leave it alone. Even though it is it is, you know, by all means the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miner right now. It's just their financing is toxic, you know. But it's a piece of shit. You know? Cali Rocks and MGTI balling. Yeah, the only buyer who's balling in MGTI are the owners. You said it's a long play. Absolutely. If it gets back in the 2s, if you talk about MGTI, you know, you get the opportunity to get MGTI again in some of these low 2s, 202, 205, 160s, 170s again. Yeah, I would see the long-term play. You know, be careful because last research I was doing, they did have an agreement to reverse split possibly in December, but do your research on it. Yeah, make sure I get them likes up. Get them likes up. I got 100 people in here. Subscribe if this is your first time. Yeah, man. You know, Derek, I see you talking about Cameron Foose and him breaking up with his girlfriend. That's a real fucked up shit. You know, she's a hot chick, man. And, you know, he was traveling all over the world with her. And I don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate or anything. But like I said on that comment, I thought he was having a hard time really trying to bring her into his business. And the thing about being a trader is sometimes you meet women who just don't get what we're doing, right? And instead of trying to like delve in and just take a few moments to understand what trading is and why we love it and why we're so passionate about it, some women just try to disconnect themselves to it, and they actually get to a point where they become irritated by the fact that you're on the computer or you're trading or you're learning, you're teaching yourself, and you're taking the time, you know, to pursue something that's not all about them. And some women who just can't deal with that. They just can't deal with that, and they become a nuisance to you. And you got to cut and leave them. You got to cut and leave them. And I suspect that's probably what could have happened here, because I've been in situations like that, you know what I mean, where you meet a chick, and once you figure out what you do, instead of like being understanding to the fact that, yeah, you know, sometimes I don't have time to just kind of sit around. I'm trying to run a business here, or trying to you know, grow a business, and, you know, kind of make moves. I don't know. I don't know. But you just got to cut and run. You got to cut and run. And that's what it is. You know, and I actually feel sorry for his girl, like I said in that comment too, because she'll never travel like that again, man. She'll never travel like that again. That's why a lot of these girls who end up, you know, especially if you're a trader, these girls end up leaving you or something like that. Look, they're not going to end up with a guy who's doing what you're doing. You know, they're not going to end up with a guy who's doing that shit. They're going to end up with a 9-to-5 guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, the potential to have the kind of lifestyle that you really want is not going to be available to her anymore because he's not in the best game, one of the best games, you know, in the world, which is real estate and finance, you know, in the stock market. You know, as long as you're playing, you have a ticket. If you're not playing, if you're not in the game, then you don't have a ticket. CIFS, and I've talked about that before. You don't even have to be a millionaire at this, bro. Like $250,000 a year would do anybody wonders. CIFS, China Internet. All right. So how far is this thing going to go, and why can't I find a single broker that will update the RSI for CIFS? I got to hit up my Twitter suspended right now. Or I would hit up Muddy Waters Research. If you're not following them on Twitter, you should follow them. It's like Citron Research, but this guy, he speaks Chinese. I guess he used to work out in China or something like that. But Muddy Waters Research only investigates Chinese traded companies on the American side. So they're Chinese companies that trade here and that's Muddy Waters Research. You can look them up on Twitter. You should be following them. If you're interested in learning more about CIFS, or you want to see it taken down, or he probably already knows it's running, but I would hit them up about CIFS because that's just fucking weird to me, man. This is ridiculous now at this point because it's not even putting up insane volume. It's just whatever volume that is coming in is just all buys. It's just all buys, man. Jason say you love the Muddy Waters band. Yeah, I think that's what he named him, you know, his company after. Otis Johnson said, "You're right. You'll take $250 a year." Yeah, bro. I mean, shit. Why not? Dude, you're a $200K a year trader, dude. That's money, bro. That's money. Shit, a $70K a year trader. You a millionaire in the hood. You're a millionaire in the hood on $70,000. You know, you're a millionaire in some of these podunk towns like you know, Greenville, South Carolina, or some place like that, bro. You make $70K in a neighborhood like that, bro. Your money. Your money. Appreciate the $1 from Lamprey Milt. I don't know where that goes when you guys send money to that super chat stuff. I've seen people send me that super chat stuff, and I swear Google is supposed to be sending me a check where I never got it. So let's keep it going. Otis Johnson say you trying to make $10K a year. Well, here's the thing, man. You know, buy some options here. Buy some. You know, take a position on some of these plays that are running. You know, I had to change my act too. I had to go start getting long Facebook, getting long Nvidia, I had to change my act too. Or start getting into what I do, bro. Start shorting some of these pump and dumps. You said 45,000, but exactly. That's why I had to get my ass out of Detroit, man. If you guys remember, if you've been watching me, I started out in Detroit, Michigan. I had to get out of there because I started making money, and people started coming around, and it just started getting real weird. I started getting threats. I had to get up out of there because 40,000 on one of my biggest pumps, and I'm not going to lie, I had some cash with me all the time and stuff like that. I started spending a little bit, started going out a little bit more. These people hating, in a community where, there's 25% unemployment, 60% of the African-American men are unemployed. You know, you got some guys out there with unregistered handguns. They're gonna hit you, man. They're gonna hit you. So I had to get up out of there. I had to get the hell up out of there. Let's get back to these tickers. Yeah, I was running, you know, $20,000-$30,000 pumps, and they knew I had money. All right, let's get back to these pumps here. Let's get some of these tickers, guys. WAC, Walter. Okay, yeah, this is another one of those retail. Yeah, this is pretty much, you know, this is pretty much done. This is a missed opportunity for me on Walter. You know, this is a publicly traded real estate company, has insane, you know, exposure to malls, Macy's as well. But yeah, missed opportunity. Now trades at 39 cents. They'll probably go get delisted and eventually wash away. But that was a missed opportunity. If they talk about reverse split, then oh wow, that'd be a great opportunity to go back in. But for all intents and purposes, that was a missed opportunity there. Yeah, WAC blows, you know. Nikhil doing good. Say loving Bitcoin. Love it. Great. Bitcoin's going up, man. Bitcoin's going up. UGAZ. UGAS. I'm not a fan of natural gas. I don't really understand the business of natural gas. I don't get it. I don't get the business of natural gas, and you know, I just don't know where it's at right now. So yeah, you're gonna have to educate us on that, Lance. But I'm not a fan of natural gas. Hasn't done well for years. And you know, if anything, you know, it was looked at as a possible alternative fuel source, and it just hasn't lived up to it. I remember the conversations about natural gas, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago as an alternative, you know, fuel source, and just hasn't materialized. Macy's is, you know, Macy's. Let me see here. Hold on. Macy's is being a pain in the ass right now. I don't have any puts on Macy's, but after that earnings announcement on Macy's, right, they came out and basically said that, yeah, they're losing money, but they weren't losing as badly as people expected. And, you know, just little things like that will change at least sentiment on the short term. At the end of the day, Macy's is still a horrible business. And, you know, our generation and the generation before us, you guys in your early 40s and you know, late 40s, you probably don't fucking shop at Macy's like that. And the time will come that they'll put a nail in the coffin in the coffin of this business. But until then, in the short term, it's rallying right now on that recent earnings report. Now, is it going to go back to $27? I don't think so. You know, I don't think it deserves the $6 billion it's worth now. But, you know, in the short term, you know, that earnings report was better than expected. You know, it was better than expected, and we just have to accept that. You know, but at the end of the day, Macy's is not going to be around 10 years from now. That's just what it is. You know, but let them enjoy their short-term rally. It's a very similar move that's being made in General Electric. General Electric hit 1750, and it just turned 1750 became a wall. It's literally bounced off 1750, and now it's cooling off a little bit. Now, I have no doubt that GE will go lower. I think right now you're just kind of cooling off a little bit, and you're kind of bouncing between 1850 for the last, you know, what was that, like 6 or 7 days so far, last week and a half in GE. So that RSI is cooling off, and I think you go higher to come back lower. You go higher to come back lower, and you see that a lot in some of these stocks where you sell off and, you know, you come higher to go back lower, where the RSI has to get oversold, come out of those oversold levels, right? And even if you move higher for a short period of time, you eventually come back to losing again. And that's just kind of what has to happen in some of these stocks that sell off, you know, too aggressively. Too aggressively. VRX, Valiant. Yeah, Valiant, it's a really interesting, thing that happened in Valiant, because Valiant was another Andrew Left play too, right? There was Andrew Left in that Valiant, or what was it, that one other guy? Yeah, it was Andrew Left. Okay, yeah, Andrew Left was in Valiant. And then there was another, that billionaire trader, I forgot, the guy who lost like $2 billion on it or something like that. We actually did a show on him too. We did a show on him, but yeah, that was Andrew Left. In fact, that was the one that kind of put Andrew Left on the mark. That kind of put him on CNBC when he came out and said that. And ever since now that he's got a short, he's on CNBC. But before that, nobody even knew who the guy was. Nobody knew who the guy was. He said you can't ever imagine GE going bye-bye. No, I would never think that I don't think GE will ever disappear. No, it's still got some very interesting assets, whether you talk about railroads or some mining interest that it has. I'm talking about, these are billion-dollar stakes, right? So no, GE is not going to disappear, but I still think that GE still doesn't have an identity, and I think you still go, and now with the fact that they're not going to be paying dividends, I think you go lower. They just took back their dividends, so where's the value now? Where's the value now? That GE is no longer a dividend-paying company. Bill Ackman, there it is. Thank you, Bats. That was him, Bill Ackman, billionaire, activist, investor. Billionaire, activist, investor. DCTH, yeah, DCTH is an OTC, DCTHD, right? Yeah, it's DCTHD now. I don't follow whatever that's going on there. This was a very sad story. We covered it thoroughly here on the show on DCTH, where we had some guys who were actually, making a killing when it was kind of doing these weird numbers. And the stock has reverse split since then, so it's kind of whacked out. But, we remember it going from, a nickel to 15 cents and back down and then back up. It was just crazy. But it's been a long time coming for that. Then I don't follow it anymore. HM, no, I just think there are better opportunities there. There are better opportunities, in other plays right now. What's going on, Stock Trapper? Yes, sir. Bill Ackman is a billionaire activist investor, man. Check him out, Bill Ackman. Do your research on him. He tried to recently come after a company called ADP, which is one of the largest payroll processors out there. He tried to come out and say they weren't doing good or whatever. They fought him off pretty good. I think they're actually still fighting, but he can't afford ADP, so it is what it is on that one. But he's thinking that they could do better and blah, 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 and, he's just kind of one of those guys that kind of does a really good job of kind of running his mouth. So his mouth does better performance than his funds do. But he's made money in the past, but lately he hasn't done so well. All right. MJNA. Yeah, MJNA. I've been watching MJNA, and then I put the buy target, which was above 12, to enjoy the run. But again, we're not getting there. We're not getting there. So I'm not. I think MJNA is one of those things where you just buy the breakout. If you're not going to get the breakout, just leave it alone. At this point, the cannabis plays. Right now, you got to look at Canada for the value. That's kind of where the value, that's where, investors are getting, bang for their buck. But right now, on the U.S. side, we're just not getting the kind of value that you want to see. Now, here's the thing. I did write up on my website, Advanced Equity Research, I play on Kush Bottles, KSHB, and I had a buy target on Kush Bottles. I have a buy target on Kush Bottles once this whatever this rally is kind of cools down, because at the end of the day, I love the underlying business. Got a young CEO, early 30s. He's been doing it now for almost 4 years. They are a marijuana company that doesn't have any, exposure to the whole, rules and all of marijuana. They're just simply in the container and packaging space. So if you have a marijuana dispensary and you want to sell quality packaging for your marijuana, you buy that from Kush Bottles. They recently just bought a company called CMP Wellness, which is a simple same thing, basically a container packaging company that had a lot better distribution out of California. They bought them out. So I like what Kush Bottles is doing with that acquisition. Now, with that, they are now in 29 states, I believe. So that was a huge acquisition for them. Long term, I love Kush Bottles, but get it on a dip. I think you can get it cheaper here, and I think I would go long on that because I love the business. And the guy who's running it, he's in for the long term. So great business though. But you got to read the financials and see that they're doing a lot of smart things, and they're raising money properly. They're not giving shares away for pennies. They're not, diluting shareholders. They really are trying to increase shareholder value the right way, and they're keeping their share structure appropriately too. But as of right now, I don't like where their value. I think the valuation is a little bit high right now. So, but the business overall, I love it. Everybody said you got Kush for $2. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, and it's so crazy because TRTC, if you guys remember, was bigger than MJNA for a long period of time. It was bigger than them for a long period of time. My website is advancedequityresearch.com. Now, I'm more sell side than anything, but I'm going to start writing some more buy side articles too, because I wanted to kind of to get back into my whole writing thing and getting back into doing some real properly research. Because the thing about the show is that we got to pull up tickers. We don't really have time to really dig into the numbers. So the website gives me an opportunity to kind of have something out there where I can point back to. And I'm just focusing on my love, which is just OTC plays and small caps. All right, let's keep it going. And then that Pumps and Dumps podcast. I'm getting that intro made, but we're gonna have the Pumps and Dumps podcast. Hopefully, I'm gonna have that part up this weekend. WTFF. What's that? WTFF? I didn't know. Oh, you're saying what the fuck? Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I thought you were putting in the damn ticker. Let's see here. What else you guys looking at, man? Give me some tickers. What are you guys looking at right now? Let me pull up something here that I was of interest in. INSG. Nah. This stock has been quietly going higher. Oh, wow. I gave it all back. Okay. It's been a while since I looked it up. Okay. Yeah, I gave it all back. Well, fuck that then. MNKD. I thought it was still rallying. As you can see, it's been a while since we pulled it up. Gave it all back. That sucker went from $1.50 to $7 and gave it all back. Completely forgot about that one. MNKD. Oh wow, that's pretty ugly, man. As you can see, this week the Chinese stocks aren't high anymore. We pulled up one Chinese stock that's on fire, but for the most part, the other ones are gone. The other ones are gone. DAIO, is that still running? That pulled back a little bit today, down 7%. This is one of the Chinese or Hong Kong Chinese play that ran. That pulled back a little bit hard today. Closingbell.co shows buys and sells for people who are linked to their Robinhood accounts. Okay. Who linked their Robinhood accounts. There it is. Appreciate you, NQ Gaming, for that. ENVV. Envoy Group Personal Services up 51%. The volume is very unusual, man. That's a very unusual volume. I don't know what's going on there. Looks like CEO. I'm not seeing the news to justify that move, too. It's a big move, man. I'm going to have to find out a little bit more information on that move, Bats. Or let me know. CBDS, silver by the ounce. Cannabis sativa. Yeah, this is very unusual. You know, for the most part, as you can see here, very bearish primary trend. Intermediate for the most part, at least last 90 days, so. But in here, this short term, this is very unusual for the stock. Obviously, it doesn't fit the primary trend, so something's going on here. I don't see the news again to justify the move, so I wouldn't jump in here. I think if you're in, you got to take profits here at these levels. It's kind of insane. You're up nearly 100%, from November 1st. Nearly. I mean, you're almost there. You're basically up 90% since November 1st. So take your profits if you're in it. Volume hasn't even been that great, but boy, has it been a great swing trade for somebody. So I'll give you the ka-ching on that one. That's a huge gain. All right. Let's take Teva. Teva. 251, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on, brother? Sir, happy belated Thanksgiving to you, brother.
Thank you. Same as you. What's going on with you, Anthony?
Oh man, I was up on the East Coast, man. Went to my wife's mother-in-law's house for Thanksgiving this week, man. I was up there all week. I was up there from Tuesday to Tuesday.
There it is. Spending time with family.
Just trying to relax, man.
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if you talked about CVO.
Yeah. We brushed up on it. I mean, I gotta admit, man, it's been an incredible, ride for the stock. Including what happened today. The everything that you talked about, man, jumped off. You brought the whole idea of the merger as a possibility coming, to fruition. And then, obviously you didn't know that whole census contract was coming down the pipe. But, I mean, that's just as insane that the fact that you came and called into the show and talked about this company, CVO, before all this news hit. So,
because I was actually when I was in California, because I had to go up L.A. out there to my uncle's funeral, and my cousin was telling me that that they work for him. I can't use gender, so I'm trying to be discreet with that. But they told me that they had that merger deal in the works. So I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna look into it, because you said, hey, buy some shares in ours, buy some shares in theirs. So, and I got some shares in it, so it's up like 81%.
Yeah, I like it, long term, man. But because here's the thing, I just don't believe that, man, you can win a $60 million contract and still continue to be trading sub $2 a share, man. something about it just not right. So I don't know what else is, obviously they do have some debt out there on the books. I did see that somebody had brought that up last time we talked about it. But man, I just think this is going to be the windfall they need to change things around. Obviously that's still a ways away, but we'll just continue to watch it. And I think if you're looking to go into CVO, either play the short-term pullback or wait for it to get cheaper and just go along with it. I think those are the only two ways to to play this.
Yeah, that's what I did. I waited until it pulled down, came back down to like 80-something cent, and actually the other day it was lower than that. And I jumped in it. I jumped in and just held on to them, and I'll probably see what it does tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if it don't do anything tomorrow, I'll probably just sell those shares, and then I'll probably jump back in it when it pull, come back down.
Okay.
But for the most part, that's what I did with that. Yeah. And NAK, I'm just waiting for my baby to go on and do what he got to do. So other than that, that's it.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, on NAK it broke my trend yesterday on NAK, but let's see. We'll see what it does tomorrow. It's still early, but it did break the bullish trend line that I created that goes all the way back to August. Yeah, that I created back in August. It broke it. It broke it yesterday, and now at 197. So this is going to be interesting to see whether or not it continues to hold here. It's still a little bit early. I'll give it another day or two, but it's looking a little bit like a short now that's kind of lost that momentum. We'll see.
Okay. All right, Sal. I appreciate it, man. Keep up the work, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. All right. So shout out to Anthony for the call. But yeah, NAK looking bearish now as you see the RSI 2 is broken that low that it kind of created for itself there, and dipped below it there now at 44 on the daily chart, showing some weakness here. So you did have a nice little candlestick to end the day where you had a shadow where people had bought up those 190s and the 195s, but can it hold it tomorrow? We'll see. All right. So a few more before we end the night. I was actually on time today. So that's why we're going to get you guys out here early, because this is when I'm supposed to be getting you guys out of here about 10:30. I have a 1 hour, 30-minute show. CLRB 1.3%. Man, this is setting up for something. We've seen charts like this where, you just start to kind of funnel between something, and all of a sudden, news drops. But I don't like stocks that are setting new lows. Not a fan of stocks that are setting new lows. We like to find a real support level for the stock, and it's touching it. It's literally touching it. All right, it's literally touching it. Let's see, can I get a horizontal line out there? Have we broken it? So yeah, we're just hanging on to, what is previous support going all the way back to July on CLRB. So what you're looking for tomorrow is you're looking for a bounce off that to see whether or not traders are respecting that. Now here's the thing. It's a very low volume stock, right? It's, only 120,000 shares traded today. So if you're looking for an opportunity to swing this, you've got to have that line get respected tomorrow. And if that doesn't happen, you actually break lower, all right? You break these 140s, these 41s, these 139s, it's game over. Who knows how low you could be going? You could be going all the way back lower to that, what's that, 113, 115 line down here. So that's where I'm looking at CLRB. All right, and again, I'm just looking at the price action, and that I'm not privy to what else could be going on. Like if they've got a trial that's ending in 2 weeks and they're going to announce, obviously that changes everything. So make sure you know what else is going on underlying the business. Luna, This has been an insane couple of days here with that stock. So looks like earnings came out and the market has really loved it. So figure out what that earnings report was about, because I can see here the move was really simply from that day. So something in that earnings report obviously got buyers excited about this business. Something has fundamentally changed, and it was revealed in that earnings report. You need to open up that earnings report and read and figure out why is it that the stock is up, from $1.60 to $2.38. So something is in there, or are they overreacting? And this is an opportunity for you to try to figure out where the top is and follow it all the way down. Yeah. Could be an overreaction. Who knows? BLPH. Looks like this is another stock that's kind of been on a tear for the last couple of days. If we spread the chart out here, seeing 2017, not much, but we're breaking out here. Can I create a line here? Let me see. Let me create a line. Or have we broken out yet? We're getting there. We're getting there on BLPH. So yeah, you're looking to break out here on BLPH from that February high. Let's see if you can get there. 1 million shares traded today. The average is only 300,000. So you're getting close. I have no doubt that's probably the 52-week high, which I don't doubt. I have no doubt that's the 52-week high. So you got some new money in there that's looking to play on that. Let's see if you can get some new money to kind of continue to show up to get you above those levels. But you're going to need more than 1 million shares traded to get you above there, stay above there. But if you break out on that and they can go ahead and release some news, that'd be helpful. 194. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't see why you can't get that. As long as you continue to maintain this volume, I don't see why you can't get that. Here's another biotech play too, so figure out what else is going on, on the underlying business. George M. BYD, Boyd Gaming Company. Casinos, consumer gaming play. Wow, they've been on a tear for 2017. 1.5 million shares traded, $3 billion valuation. So this is not a small business. But I've never heard of this gaming play. So I'd love to see what kind of properties they obviously own. 19,000 employees. So this is obviously a company that owns several different casino brands. With that many employees, they have no doubt more than a couple locations. Trading at 36 times earnings. You're going to have to figure out what the average is for the industry. I'm not too familiar with the gaming industry, but boy, they've been doing really good in 2017. I have no doubt here, if you look at the September numbers, this is probably a little bit of the hurricane. The mass shooter probably here as well too. So you got some things in here that affected the stock, but for the most part, the stock has been on a tear. It's been on an absolute tear. All right, they own the Borgata in Atlantic City, nicest casino there. A lot of rinky dinks in Las Vegas. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta have the rinky dinks and the nice stuff. It's just kind of like real estate, man. The real estate. When it comes to real estate, when I was reading up on it and I just kind of decided it wasn't for me, the war zone properties earn you the biggest margins on your investment are the war zone properties. So just like, the casinos, you got to have the rinky dink, cheap shit, because you can buy them cheap and your margins are pretty good. Whereas on the expensive stuff, on an expensive property, you got to maintain the decadence, right? You got to pay staff more, staff costs more, and your margins aren't going to be that high because you're going to have much higher expenses. 313, you're on the air. What's up?
Hello?
Hello?
You gotta be kidding me.
All right, so let me.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
All right. Take care. Take care of yourself. All right, so we had these little trolls in here. All right, we got them out of here. And I knew somebody was gonna break it. You know, it'd been a few consecutive shows that we didn't get any troll calls, but I knew somebody was gonna break it eventually. Where's Bitcoin at now? Let me see here. Oh shit! Bitcoin is at 10,265. Didn't we start the show at 10? Dude, we started the show. I came on the show. We started the show. I think we were at 10,081. Wow, this is insane, man. This is insane. Woo! Wow. Give it a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I don't know what to say, folks. Mr. Lloyd, what's going on? You're on the air.
Man, every time you mention Bitcoin, I'm telling you, it just makes me upset, okay? I had to turn off the stream because let me tell you something. Looking at Bitcoin is like looking at that fine-ass woman across the street, knowing you can't have her because you're married, and all you got is a luxury just to look at her.
Now, what makes you say that? I mean, anybody can just go online and buy some. What's preventing you from jumping on?
Fucking $10,000. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I fear of Bitcoin, man. I fear that I'm gonna wake up one day and that bitch is right back down. Somebody's gonna ride it. As soon as they get options on there, they're gonna ride that bitch all the way down to back to 001. I mean, it may not go that low, but that's what I fear. You know.
Well, Mr. Lloyd, you don't have to buy the whole thing. You can just buy a piece. I mean, I've got friends and family members who have as little as $250. I know people who've emailed me saying, "Man, I only got $50 worth of Bitcoin." But even in those small amounts, it's been growing, perpetually. So it is what it is, man.
Well, I guess I'm old school. You know how old people don't want to change their ways. I'm stuck into my ways, and I don't know enough about Bitcoin. But it kills me seeing it go from 001 to $10,000. I mean, I'm still shaking my head every time you say that.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
How you doing, man? Everything's good?
Everything's good, bro. I mean, we're back on the air. I wasn't on yesterday. Feeling good, rejuvenated. So absolutely, man. Looking forward to seeing what is going to happen. Are we hitting tops in the market, or are we going to continue to go higher? Now we got this bullshit tax plan. We'll see what happens, bro.
Right. What's up with Amazon, man? I tried to short that bitch 3 times. 3 times I tried to short that and got burnt every single time. I mean, everything is moving up, man. I mean, hell, I can't see like I used to, man. I need to buy some bifocals or something.
Amazon, bro, is just, look, I just think, man, a bull is a bull, man. You can't control these things, man. And you've had 2 red days, but even on those red days, they pretty much kind of came pre-market. You really didn't get an opportunity to really, go on the low end on them. So I don't know, man. I would leave Amazon alone until you get a real red day where you.
Well, I tell you what.
$5.
Here's my prediction for tomorrow. I'm working on something new. So my prediction is that Amazon is going to be on a down day tomorrow. Okay. So that's just my prediction, man. But anyways, I'll wait and see you for tomorrow, man.
There it is. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Lloyd. How's everything going with the house?
Man, let me tell you something. I mean, Airbnb, if you ever try to set one up, I mean, I got incorporated with the state and then the county or the city. And if you guys got Airbnbs out there, man, hit me up or something, let me know, because the tax, the taxes is what I'm concerned about. Mm-hmm. And, dumping $50,000, $55,000, $60,000 into just one apartment. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I get some of that money back, and sure. I'm afraid that I'm I'm gonna lose a lot of that money. So I've been dumping some of my investments. Hoping to take what do you call it? I can get my deductions.
Yeah.
But now I'm scared about this tax plan, man. How it's going to impact me? I mean, hell, I mean, how you feel about it?
Well, I don't like it, period, because I mean we're cutting taxes, but we're not cutting spending. So we're putting more debt on our children and my generation in particular. So I don't like it at all. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't want to politicize it. But as for your situation, yeah, it's the way I understand it, it's going to hurt individuals, and particularly with homes that are above $500,000, which I believe your home is worth more than that.
Whoa! What'd you just say?
Yeah. Well, homes above $500,000, you're not going to be able to deduct your mortgage. You're not going to be able to deduct. What's the word for it?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The interest or something like that.
There we go. Mortgage interest.
Oh,
you're not going to be able to take it. So, and I know you have a home that's worth more than. Yeah, I know you have a home that's worth over $500,000. So yeah.
Well, because the market's high up here, that's the reason why. I mean, it ain't like it's a.
Right.
Well, anyway. Yeah, man. But yeah, so thanks for making me more depressed and looking at Bitcoin, and now you telling me I'm going to have to owe Trump some more money. So anyway, I'm going to have to go drink a beer, man. But I'll hit you up later, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
All right, thanks. All right,
yes,
thank you.
Indeed.
Bye.
Shout out to Mr. Lloyd. Just had to be honest with him, man. So shout out to Mr. Lloyd for calling in. I'm not a big fan of it, man. If the market's already doing good, I think you got to leave it alone, But what's going on with the tax plan is exactly why, Bitcoin is running, man. They just want to print more dollars. You just want to print more dollars, man. More greenbacks. Just printing. And that's why you got to buy yourself some Bitcoin. Protect your future. Buy Bitcoin, man. Stay away from these little BitConnect and all those little pyramid schemes. Just go and buy Bitcoin. 813, you're on the air. What's up?
Yo, what up, man? I just called to get some input on what you think about BTSC. Because I just want to tell everybody I'm doing pretty good on it. I put in $100 and something on it at 9 cents. I caught it at 9 cents. No, 6. I think it was 6, 9 or 6. I don't remember which one, but I caught it early. Mm-hmm. And you see right now it's at like 45, 40 something.
Yeah. You're tearing it up, man. You're tearing it up. I mean, what's going on, BTSC?
$1,000. I got like $1,100 right now added to my account.
So I mean, you gonna take the money and run or what?
I don't know. I want to, man, but it's like every day. Every day it goes up. I want to. Huh?
I say you being greedy now, bro. I mean, I mean, wasn't there a point where you would have took $300 once you had put in that 100? Now you're up $1,100 and you're second guessing yourself, man.
Yeah, that's why I called for some input from you, man, because I'm new to this and I'm so excited because, man.
Yeah,
look, like I said, I put $150 in.
I get your excitement, but man, tomorrow morning, take your money out. You won. This is a hard game to win at. You
right.
hit it, bro. You did it. You won. Take your money out, and then that's something you can continue to build on and look for another opportunity to make money on. But I wouldn't continue to sit there and pray and hope, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher. You're always going to have another opportunity to get a stock that's going higher, but you're up huge. Take your money and run.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to because I work during the daytime, so only time I check it is like during my lunchtime or, you know what I'm saying, when I get off work, and that's when I check it and the stock market already closed.
Put the order in now.
Yeah,
you can open up your browser, put the order in now. All right, put the order in now, and then it'll do it automatically for you.
True. Okay, let me ask you something else then. What about this? You think? Because I am being a little greedy. I'm thinking to like at least sell half of it, and then get the other half, and try the other half to keep going. Because, like I said, I only put. Well, I didn't tell you this. I only got 2,500 shares in. I couldn't afford that much.
What you're saying, but man, you're at You're at 95 on the RSI. It's almost guaranteed to have a red day tomorrow. It's almost guaranteed. So I think tomorrow You'll have people who would want to come in the morning just because they've seen the run. Use that as an opportunity to take the stock, to sell your position, clear all of it out. And if you really like the stock, buy it back at a cheaper price. If you really like it. But
when it goes back down?
Yeah, if it goes back down. But me personally, you're up over 800%. I would take it and run with it, man. I'm taking it and run with it.
I think I'm gonna take your advice, man. Cause
you won, bro. I mean, this is OTC markets. It's hard to win, man. It's hard to win at OTC stocks, and you won. So take your money and keep it moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep watching your show, man, and keep taking some advice from you, man, because you the one got me into this, man.
Appreciate it, man. Congrats and enjoy those gains, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm Adonis Lovett. So when you see me up on the thing, I'm always looking at your shows, man.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Stay safe. Stay safe. I'm gonna holler at you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Shout out to him for winning, man. Let me give him a cheer for winning. You know, shout out to him for winning. I mean, that's what it's about, man. You know, a lot of people think this is a scam, and then they win. And he's a believer for life, but he's going to be a big believer if he sells his entire position. So sell that position tomorrow. 206, Mr. Lloyd, you're back on. What's up?
Man, that sounds just like me. Just like me with that INMV. Sal, I got $5,000 in my account. What should I do? And everybody was saying, take the money, take the fucking money.
Yeah.
I said, no, it's going to go up. I sound just like you, man. And I just got started. And I put $3,000 into a penny stock and got $5,000. And I ended up losing the 5 plus half of the 3 because I had that hope like you did, like it's going to go up. And I was on my way to Disney World. And so I got on the plane. I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna get on the plane. I'll just sell it when I get to Florida." And sure enough, and I told the story thousands of times, man. But look, don't wait. The market ain't waiting on you to take the money. You need to take the money before it takes you.
Yeah.
And it is so funny. Every time I had a profit like that, I always take a picture of it, but I never took the money. And I mean, I got pictures of all types of profits. But I never took the money like a dumbass because I had that hope and dream. And I don't know what it is, man.
It's crazy, bro. I mean, when you're up on the market, bro, that devil comes on your shoulder and just starts talking to you, bro. Just starts talking to you like, man, what are you doing? What do you mean you're going to sell? You start tricking and playing yourself, like let your profits run and all that kind of bullshit.
Right.
And you better take that motherfucking money,
Right. And let me ask you, how many times have you was in a losing position and you were so in disbelief that you were losing, you couldn't take it because of you just saw your money just drizzling away. I mean, have you ever?
Yeah, I've had that, especially particularly in OTCs. A lot of that times that was more or less because I was in for long. So I've seen positions where I got in a little bit too high and it just continued to go. And that's usually if I'm in a small amount. So if I'm in it like just $300 and it's a 0010 or a 0020 and it's just now I've lost half or I'm down 90%. Yeah, I just like, man, fuck it. It's not even worth selling because it's just not even worth trying to get my money back on that shit. So
right.
That's pretty much the only case.
And I want to say one more thing to that, brother. Man, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking about all the shit you about to buy, about the payoff or what bills you're going to pay. And as soon as you realize, once you finish thinking, that shit's going to be gone. I mean, I was on a plane thinking about I'm going to pay off my car a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy my wife a nice meal. Shit, now I'm searching for coupons in the magazine because I lost all of it. Yeah. So don't wait on it, man. I mean. If you can't, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and so they're not waiting on you. But anyways, I got one. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Lloyd, I remember because we had a celebration for you that episode. I don't remember.
Man! But we
had a celebration for Mr. Lloyd because he announced that he was up $5,000 on that stock. We had a celebration for him that day, bro, on this show.
Matter of fact, it started off at 2,500, and I called in. I said, "Hey, man, I'm up 2,500," and people said, "Oh, take it." I said, "Oh no, I ain't gonna take it." Yeah. Next day, it was up 3,000, and then it got all the way up to 5, and sure enough, your stock could still, it could be the next, what do you call it, Drive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you don't know when, man, but when you start thinking about should you take the money, that's when you should take it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your conscience talking to you, like, look, you don't be dumb, take the shit. So, but anyways, man, I got to play real quick. BYSD.
BYSD.
Boy, Yankee.
Okay.
Bayside, now I haven't.
Bayside Land Corps. This one for 170,000.
No. Let me see here. Maybe BYSD. I'm looking at the chart here, and it's 004. It's an OTC play.
BYSD. Hold on. Oh, okay. The OTC. Okay, there's the OTC. All right. Yeah, there's an OTC one. All right. So Bayside Core. I mean, I know you're rich, Mr. Lloyd, but damn, shit.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't that crazy, man.
0004. All right. Well, what do you like about it? Obviously, you probably looked into this.
Oh no! Actually, I was looking at the I haven't looked at OTCs in a long time, and it was on the running board as far as the most talked about board, and I think I looked at it this morning. It said 002, so it went up 100% today, and look at all the volume that's coming in.
Yeah.
It was like 400. I mean, I'm pretty sure the float's pretty high, and I don't mess with double zeros, but it'd be kind of nice to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Trying to catch the beginning of some trips. I mean, have you ever caught the beginning of the trips before?
Yeah, I've caught some trips before. Some 0003s to 0012s. I've caught some 0004s to 0010s. I mean, they're just like anything else. I mean, the trips are incredible because they're just lottery tickets. But man, if they hit, bro, the returns are insane. I mean, you catch a trip. At 0004 like this, I mean, if it goes to 0020, bro, that's like 900%. So, that's actually more than that. That's like 4,000%. So, that's incredible gains that you can get from the trips. But that's the only thing. You got to have the volume follow through, and you got to have those people hold. But but yeah, they're lottery ticket plays. They very much lottery ticket plays.
Well, keep preaching to that brother tonight, man, to take that money. So make sure you mention at the end, man, because I hate to see that brother, lose everything. So we'll see what happens.
That's so true.
All right, brother. Thanks. All right, bro.
Shout out to Mr. Lloyd. Thank you to all my callers. And yeah, man, when you're up huge, take that kind of money, bro. You only had $100. You only had $100 invested in the stock, and that just shows you. The benefits of trading, over-the-counter stock, penny stocks. I've been preaching this for so long, and a lot of people don't listen to me. But, I mean, when you win, boy, it feels so good. So good to enjoy those kind of returns. They don't come often, but when they do, boy, it feels good. It absolutely does. So call back tomorrow. Let us know you took all the money, and now you're looking at, using those gains to build up that nest egg. Don't call us back tomorrow and say you sat on it and now you only took out 700. You know what I mean? Don't be that guy. All right? Don't be that guy. So I'll go ahead and ring the bell and end the show for tonight. Great episode, guys. Talked about a lot of things, a lot of tickers. Bitcoin is still doing what Bitcoin is going to do. Tomorrow we'll have another group of hot stocks for that day. We still have CVO. CVO was the biggest gain on the market today. We'll see what happens tomorrow on CVO. Whether or not that continues. We'll probably be talking Bitcoin. Damn, Bitcoin is up $400. What the fuck is going on? Shit. We could be talking. I mean, look, dude. At this. We could be talking Bitcoin 11,000 by tomorrow's show, man. This is insane right now, bro. This is insane. This is insane, man. Appreciate all you guys in the chat room. Let me go ahead and start the closeout music, guys. Thank you so much. Keep it moving. 77, Lamprey Milt, Max Trader, and Bullard. Shout out to all the people who support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/finance. If you got $5 a month, show me some love. Become a Patreon of the show. Go ahead and bookmark my new website, advancedequityresearch.com. That's advancedequityresearch.com. I'll put that in the description after the show and in the chat, or the comments after the show gets posted. Appreciate you, Bad Scientist, George M, Legendary 8s, Andrew Gladness. Yes, indeed. Appreciate it, man. M1 Gunner, thank you, sir. Sinclair, thank you. What's up, Sinclair? Shout out to Sinclair, man. Been around for a minute. Who else? Kelly Robb, P Bank, NQ Gaming, everybody who called up, Anthony, Chibuki, HM, Andrino, all the guys who watch the show and who are watching it in the future. I appreciate you all. Andrew Gladness, appreciate it, man. All of you guys. Joel Kraft, thank you, sir. S-Free Music. Who else was in here? The Marine, Jeff the Marine Thayer, all you guys who are in here, man. Appreciate all you. Incham, Adonis, love it. Appreciate you. See you guys back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, happy trading, folks. Trade well.